All right, Shalom Israel, Shalom. All right, let's get into it.
Restaurants are using AI-powered Chinese restaurants are using AI-powered cooking machines to keep costs low and improve efficiency. The device consists of a mechanized wok with various containers that are automatically poured into it. At one popular chain in southwest China's Chengdu city, these robotic chefs assisted with the surge of diners during the May Day holiday from the 1st to the 5th.
The dishes are delicious. I couldn't tell they were cooked by a robot or a human chef.
Not only do the devices match human chefs on ability, they also cut costs, save space, and boost efficiency.
Given the number of dishes we currently serve, a traditional kitchen would likely require 6 to 7 chefs, since, as you've seen, we have 6 to 7 woks. But now in our smart kitchen, we only need 2 staff members.
The robots, made by a local tech firm, are now serving nearly 100 restaurants in the city and over 1,000 nationwide.
Well, we've got a story we want you to check out. A team of robot nurses are now working at a Texas hospital.
Yeah, that's right. This technology isn't necessarily designed to replace human nurses. Officials say they're there to allow the medical staff to spend more time with patients. Luke Johnson has more from Odessa.
Meet Moxie, the 5-foot, 300-pound service robot that is now employed at Odessa Regional Medical Center. It transports things like medications and supplies throughout the entire hospital 24 hours a day.
We are super excited to have Moxie on site. She's been in the ER all day today helping run lab specimens. Everybody's really excited to have finally a go-live date.
A total of 3 robots are a part of the ORMC team. They use locked drawers to securely transport items and scan QR codes around the hospital to navigate around. They are equipped with ORMC badges to get in and out of locked areas. The help massively reduces the steps taken by busy nurses.
The burden of walking across the hospital, the miles they put on, and that falling on them when in reality they should be focusing on patient care and impacting the community that they serve within the hospital. I think that's what's so great about Moxie.
There's been a lot of chatter about these AI-powered robots slimming the job market. ORMC nurses shot those rumors down.
Everybody's like, oh, they're going to take your jobs. They're not. They're a tool to make us better at our jobs so that we can spend more time with the patients.
The robots feature LED lights that shine when they interact with patients and staff. Developers with Diligent Robotics says the Hard Eyes has a competitive impact.
The Hard Eyes is always a hit. I think when people go by, I think that's one of the biggest things I always hear is nurses saying, like, I got hard eyes, and someone else says, I didn't get hard eyes, and it's always a competition who has the better relationship with Moxie.
Oh, I think they're the cutest thing ever. It just makes my day when they come down the halls and you see the heart eyes.
As the region grows, innovations like this are going to help hospitals operate more efficiently while meeting increasing patient demands.
All right, this is our Figure 3 humanoid robot. It's, we actually unveiled it last year.
My God.
Yeah. It's about 130 pounds, 5'6". And we basically designed it to do most things, like a lot of things humans do.
130 pounds.
135 pounds, yeah. It's fold laundry, do dishes, do manufacturing, logistics. You know, I think a few things here that we made improvements on. This is our 3rd time basically running through 3 generations of robots. We reduced the weight and mass. We made the robot skinnier, but also same strength and speeds. We upgraded the sensors on the robot. It basically sees through cameras. We have our 5th generation hands on board that have a camera, tactile sensors, basically improved grip. We also have on the robot basically more compute on board for running our Helix neural network. We also spend a lot of time on just basically making the robot more safe. So they all have kind of the squishy layer of foam on it.
Feel it?
So, yep, go ahead.
So if you let's say somebody pushed it over, fell over. I mean, what's the durability of these?
Yeah. I mean, it depends how hard you push it, but like for the most part, we fall, robot can get back up, just continue to do work. It depends how you fall. Sometimes we break necks. Sometimes it's fine. All right, turn around. Another thing too is like we basically the robot's almost all fully soft wrapped. One thing we can do here is we basically can make clothes for the robot, which we do for both our customers and internally. The clothes can be put on by like any person, so we can basically unzip it, take clothes off, put clothes back on. We don't need tools to do so. And
can we see it? Can we see what's in there?
Yeah, basically it's the torso.
You can't see any of the internals. They're all protected.
They're all inside the structure. So inside of here we have basically a battery, GPUs, computer, power distribution. Basically the brains and all the energy are in the torso. Wow.
Well, the next time you get a bag of Doritos, they may have to come to you by way of a truck with no driver. Pepsi is leaning into self-driving, launching a fleet of autonomous vehicles that will make deliveries in Texas, Arizona, and Arkansas. Esther Fung with the Wall Street Journal was the first person to report on Pepsi using these types of trucks. She's here with us live. Great to be with you. This was the largest commercial driverless freight. How did it go? Were there any issues or hiccups in the deployment?
Hi, Elizabeth. Thank you for having me here. There wasn't any issues when I sat on the truck last week. At first, it felt a little freaky to see the steering wheel move on its own, but after a while, it felt like a regular ride. PepsiCo is now deploying dozens of these trucks in the 3 states that you've mentioned earlier, and they want to do more.
How much more? What other states are we talking about here?
They would like to do it in many more states. They wouldn't really give me any names or any numbers, but so far they've been pleased with the different routes that they already have. They say that there is more reliability and predictability from using these autonomous trucks, and the value of on-time pickups and on-time deliveries is real.
One of the biggest concerns that comes with these autonomous vehicles is, of course, job losses. And the International Brotherhood of Teamsters, the union representing truck drivers, is pushing for laws requiring that a trained human be on these trucks at all times. Now, these autonomous vehicles are not going away. As you mentioned, there's been support, bipartisan support for these types of trucks. Are they getting any support from lawmakers, though? The union, I mean.
Some unions are getting support from lawmakers. They've definitely lobbied several states, and their legislation have been pushed forward. So there are some states that do not allow driverless cabs in these autonomous trucks. So many of these autonomous truck companies still have a human operator inside of them, and what they would like is to ultimately have driverless trucks on the roads.
Pepsi is the biggest company so far to use driverless trucks. Who else is eyeing this technology?
Several retailers are eyeing this technology. Gatik, the autonomous truck company, wouldn't give me the names of the other retailers, but it would be conservative to say that almost every single retailer is looking into this.
All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory unto the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone who rule well. Peace and salutation to the hopeful elect. This is your brother Ahmad Bayan coming to you with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Kwadash. Alright, so I'll show you a series of little videos, small clips, news feeds basically, showing you that people are going to start to be worried losing jobs and whatnot. Now you see how far we into the year. We basically in the middle of the year, right? We in June right now, and a lot of things are starting to be revealed more and starting to come across, where work jobs are starting to recruit a lot of these robots to take over people's jobs. Right now they're bringing it across as if they are not going to do it, but at the end of the day, never trust what this man say. Never trust what Esau Edom tells you, because he might speak the smooth words, but really and truly he has his intentions behind it is not good. It's not any good. Right, is the book of Psalms chapter 55 and verse 21. It says the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. Right? So he will speak smooth words unto you. He will tell you things like, these robots ain't come to take your job. They just working with you, to help out and so forth. But really and truly, this is their intentions, to basically take away your job from you, to leave you poor, to leave you to basically take everything from you, to cause you to not have an income coming in for you to go out there and to seek another way to live, to basically bring forth civil unrest, to bring forth chaos, for cause you to go out there to steal and so forth, right? After Esau done basically submerge you into this worldly way of living, have you dependent on him with everything, anything that you're looking for, anything that you need to get, you basically go to him all the time. Now he's taking that away from you to bring forth something to replace you, right? And those things that is going to replace your people is those AI robots and so forth. They is going to take your jobs and all these things. So somehow you might ask yourselves, what again it have there for you to do, right? How you're going to eat, how you're going to live, how you're going to feed your family and so forth. Was another way. What was another way you're all going to seek, And that is going to be violence. That is going to cause chaos. That is going to be breaking into people's homes to try to get something to eat and so forth, right? Sedition among men and so forth. This is what Esau is pushing to get, in order to bring forth his full agenda. Total control, right? It says the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war. So like skipping. Yeah, but war was in his heart, right? In his mind. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords, right? So although he might speak smooth words and whatnot, never believe this devil, never believe your enemy, because this man, he has wicked intentions, right? This is Ecclesiasticus 12 and verse 10. It says, never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness, right? That is how he is, right? He like a onion, layers, you're peeling an onion, it's gonna make you cry, and the more you peel it, it has layers are the same thing over and over. This is how this devil is, right? This is how his wickedness is, right? He's created crooked, right? And what is created crooked, it cannot be made straight, right? So on Google here, type in to check jobs that will be replaced by robots, right? It says jobs with high physical and connective automation risk involves instructed repetitive routines. These include data entry, clerks, telemarketers, cashiers, basic customer service, and warehouse assembly line workers. Instead of complete human erasure. Many of these roles are simply evolving to require, right, human oversight rather than manual operation, right? And these jobs and them, you know, as you see some of them here that they're going to replace, you know, majority of jigs, this being this type of jobs and whatnot, the warehouse, assembly line, you know, customer service, you know, things that tend to be like more like how to put it, you know, like services, you know, customer service type of thing, like as it says here, customer service, you know. You had to put in a lot of work and whatnot. You know, a lot of jigs are going to be out of jobs, you know, and as I mentioned, you know, we in June, you know, more or less coming into the middle of the year, you know, and this is what ESO is going to do by 2027, you know, they basically a lot more jigs out there are not going to have jobs, right? They are not going to have jobs, so it's going to have a lot more chaos upon the earth, you know, a lot more people calling in saying that, you know, people came in and they got robbed, you know. It's going to have a lot more evils on the earth, right, basically, right? I'm gonna check something here. Right, check this out here. What will happen if a lot of people are jobless, right? And, you know, for some of y'all will be correct with thinking about crimes. You know, a lot of crimes are going to, you know, things are going to skyrocket, right? Where Esau is going to bring forth his military and all these different things, you know, civil unrest, you know, and all these things, right? We already seeing a lot of race wars taking place around the world, you know. Spirits are turning up, you know. People realizing, you know, who they are and then realizing who the enemy is. So, you know, a lot of tensions are brewing up, right? It says when mass employment occurs, it triggers several cascade of economic and societal problems, right? So you're gonna have a lot of pressure on people. Economically, it caused a drastic drop in consumer spending, leading to reduced businesses, revenue, more layoffs, and economic stagnation, right? So it says societally it strains government resources, increases poverty, right, and often result in higher crime rates and social unrest. See, crime rates, right? And that's the same thing that these devils want to do. They want to push the crime. They want people to reach to that point, to that boiling point where they will start that civil unrest. You know, people are going to be angered by the government. Often they were going to rebel, you know, and Esau just going to swoop in with his AI robots and whatnot. This is why they have all these things created to, you know, to pick up dead bodies in the streets, you know, these robots that, you know, these machines that will be driving around to just scoop up, you know, dead bodies in the streets and whatnot. Why? Because they bring in problems, you're going to get the reaction, and then they self going to have that solution. You know, this is why they advertising and showing these things. You know, Esau is already planning for you people, for you jakes out there, you know, and you all refuse to notice what, you know, and why he's doing it, right? But hey, only the simple is going to continue moving forward and getting destroyed, right? And the you know the ones that is in the know, the hopefully elect, all right, apparatus that we make it in that number, that elect number, to be saved out of this wicked place. We see in the destruction that is about to take place, right? I'm gonna get something here. 2 Corinthians 2:11. It says, "Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices," right? The word ignorant goes into not knowing, right? So we are not ignorant, of Esau's devices, the things that he's about to bring forth, right? We know what he's doing these things for, right? And henceforth, we, as men of the Lord, we, as the true prophets of the Lord, we are known as what the seers. We are known as the watchmen, the watchmen of Israel. Excuse me. That we watching and we looking afar off. We paying attention on what is there to come, right? Because Esau is known as that deceiver, as that slanderer. He's bringing forth all these different machines and whatnot to basically to take peace from the earth, right? So he's using it in a way where a lot of people, he's allowing a lot of people to afford it, to bring it into their homes and whatnot. You watch the movie I, Robot, right? That's a movie that you should go back and take in. How these robots was basically doing what? They started to go rogue on the people, right? And this is the same thing that is going to take place, right? These things are going to take your jobs and whatnot. Klaus Schwab came out and said it. You shall own nothing and be happy, right? And this is what they want. They want you to own nothing and be happy. You might ask, how you're going to get money to survive, how you're going to buy and sell and whatnot. This is where they're going to come to implement the mark of the beast, which is that RFID total chip, right? That is where they're going to implement this to give you a grant, a monthly grant, because the system is going to crash. You won't have no more money in your bank account, because it's going to cause they're going to have the cyber attacks. It's going to have these cyber attacks and whatnot, like what they had previously. And now these new cyber attacks that is going to come, they've already put, your governments and them already put things in place where it is, if anything like this have to take place anymore, they easily could just seize your money, right? So basically you ain't gonna have nothing anymore. You won't be able to go to the ATM and withdraw your money out, and these are things that they already putting in place, right? So Esau is already ahead of y'all, for quite some time already, because they really and truly looking to bring forth their agenda, right? Their one world government, their new world order, right? This is what they're looking to push to accomplish, right? Because as the scriptures say, their inward thoughts is that their houses is going to continue forever. Now we could go to the book of Psalms 49 and verse 11. It says their inward thoughts is that their houses shall continue forever, right? So they're doing everything in their power to basically keep you all in a dead state of mind, to try to get everything, to be able to accomplish their goal, right? This is why Trump, having that UFC fight right now, which is the same things that they did in Rome and whatnot, to basically keep the people blinded, of what is they really doing behind closed doors, to keep the people entertained, bread and circus, right? You realize they even brought the what you call it, the World Cup. You know, they even brought this World Cup around the same time with this whole things that taking place, right? So you realize how everything is working in their favor, right? And this World Cup really and truly also is a whole distractment also. This is a big distractment. You know, I know a lot of you brothers out there, you know, they like the football and all these things. I myself, I like my football and whatnot, but you know, I don't follow it as much as before back then. You know, I don't really give a rat's ass about it anymore. You know, it's just bread and circus, really and truly. You know, so don't be so into it. You know, because look at how the world is right now. You know, they are being distracted by this whole scenario here, right? It says their inward thoughts is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generation. They call their land after their own names, right? So they believe that everything is going to continue the way they want it to, and their kingdom is going to continue growing. But really and truly, you know, it is deteriorating from within, right? So hey, pay attention to what's taking place. Understand that all these that they bringing forth, all these different job losses that they're going to have with these technologies and whatnot, hey, is all for their benefits. All right, it's all for their benefits. It's all for them to bring civil unrest and whatnot. All right, so you know, this was nothing too long. It was just straight to the point. You know, just to highlight he saw plans that he has, you know, for UJX basically. All right. So Lord willing, it was edifying to the elect of Israel. I would like to give all praises, honor, and glory unto the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rachak Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at the great millstone who rule well. Peace and salutation to the hopeful elect. This is your brother Ahmad Bayan signing out, and I will say Shalom and Abad Babal.